That would never have been that way.
I remember.
So thank you to this shoe.
I remember talking to you. This is before you started internet dating. This is when you was with your.
When I was with my ex, yeah.
You with your ex, and I remember because could be me and you and the boys were out drinking, and then the boys were asking me how did I meet my partner, and obviously I met my wife on Tinder about 5 years ago. And you said like, oh yeah, but you don't get that story of how you met each other, where you bumped each other in a bar, and then she looked at you, and then you looked at her. You don't.
I mean, everyone over romanticizes all of this stuff, but it's just a bit weird when you see people having wedding speeches being like, if I hadn't swiped left, and it's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, and you don't get that interesting story anymore. And the next minute, I spoke to you probably about a few months later after that. Then you started online dating. Oh, that's interesting that your stance on that's changed.
Well, I wouldn't say it's changed. It's just it's convenience. Yeah. So it's like like getting a pizza nowadays.
Yeah.
It's not like getting a pizza. It's really derogatory.
And everybody that I've spoken to about internet dating that was against internet dating is now internet dating.
Well, yeah, because it's less weird. Like before, it was weird. It's a bit like anything new. It's like but then you used to meet because the internet used to be populated by perverts, and it still is. But it's also populated by people who aren't complete weirdos. But then you end up with the internet dating stories, which is just as interesting, especially on a first date where you're like, have you met anyone weirder? Yeah. And they always have a great story, like like girls who are saying like, yeah, this guy just sat there and he just looked completely different, or like catfishing. Oh god, that. But I find that that's quite difficult because you never really think. I mean, I learned that people don't look the same way they do on the profile picture, but that's really
not always. But
it's not familiarity rather than.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough that I haven't been like badly catfished. When I was internet dating, what I used to do, I was hesitant on meeting people because obviously I'm introverted anyway. I don't really like being around people.
Well, that's difficult to kind of start a conversation with a stranger. Full stop. I mean, especially if you haven't been texting and like, do you find that when you text people like their text chat's fire, but you meet them and they're absolutely clammed?
Yeah. So that's my point I was gonna get to. The way I sort of got around that in terms of the people that I didn't meet that many people online, but the few people that I did meet online. Is we used to text, and then once we text for a while, we used to speak on the phone. My wife.
That's a good one.
When I met my wife,
that's a good one.
When I met my wife, I started talking to her say in June. We didn't meet each other until August.
Fuck, so 3 months.
Yeah,
3 months.
Yeah, for that month.
In the same house.
Huh?
No, wait, you do now. Sorry, whoa. Okay, the gym's gone to me.
This is when we was living with our parents. So I was living in South London. She was living in North London. Yeah. So yeah, we just used to speak to each other every day around the same time, around 9 o'clock or something.
Why didn't you just meet up?
Yeah, as I said, I didn't like meeting people. So.
Well, how are you gonna have sex with them if you don't meet them? How are you gonna kiss them? How are you gonna know who they are?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't like rushing.
There's a lot of physical contact. I mean, like 80% or like 90% of human contact is.
Yeah, I know that. But I didn't like meet because I was so hesitant meeting.
Shy or
meeting strangers. You understand?
Yeah, of course. I mean, so I was danger, mate. It's very hard to get rid of that.
So for the few people I met, I thought I had to build up some sort of like relationship through the phone or using the text, just getting to know them that way. And so by the time you spoke to them on the phone for like an hour or more, you know that for a fact when you meet each other,
you've got things to talk about.
It's not you're not just gonna be sat there and just like, oh, how are you? How are you? And then you're like, yeah, how's the weather?
Mate,
you know what I'm saying? You're sitting there.
I went on a date with a GP once. I ended up having to really dig deep.
I knew when I met my wife that when we do finally meet, that we've got that the relationship we're gonna have a good communication. Just because we're speaking to each other on the phone for like
but what if you'd met her and she'd been like somebody who looked completely different to what you thought, or if they had no physical chemistry? Because that
would have been different. Obviously,
there's 3 months down the drain.
Luckily enough, that wasn't the case.
Yeah. But I mean, you say lucky.
Yeah, luckily enough. But I think as well, I think she said that she secretly Facebook stalked me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've purposely gone out my way. I told the girl that I'm seeing at the moment, like, please do not Facebook me, because she didn't know that I had ADHD until last week.
Yeah.
So, because I realised that was actually something that you shouldn't say on a first date. But yeah.
But I would definitely say, like, before you meet anybody, try to speak to them on the phone for
definitely
as long as you can, and see. Because if you can't speak to them on the phone, then
because there's nothing to distract you. I think that's the other part. But also, people are so scared of actual. I mean, I used to send voice notes quite often, but then you find yourself I compliment this girl on her voice.
I hate voice notes.
Yeah, but there's an Australian girl who I was dating, and she's really, really successful, really interesting person. And I voice note her, and she voice note me, and I was like, "You've got such a lovely voice." And then she got shy about it and stopped voice noting me, which was really weird.
Cause I remember there was a time I was texting this girl. It was going real good by text, and then she's like, "Oh, when do you want to meet? Let's meet now." So I did it. I kind of went out of my comfort zone. Did it, met her, and it was like we had nothing in common. We didn't like. But I could both tell that we both didn't like each other.
Yeah,
and we had to go.
It takes like I've been to those dates where you sit down, like, nope. And want to get up, but you can't. You have to sit there. For
so we end up going like mini golfing. Like
I did mini golfing for my first date with my current one.
Yeah, so that's what ended up happening, and we could tell that we both didn't want to see each other and both didn't want to be there, and we kind of we were out of politeness.
It's awkward to say it out loud. Like let's save ourselves 50 quid on this mini golf.
Yeah, like out of politeness, we went on this date, and then
I started doing dates that I actually just was interested in doing as an experience. I think that's the best way to do it. Is that this is the most YouTube thing we're ever going to do.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed our video. Please do like and subscribe.